by 31 shareholders. The largest shareholder is the African Development Bank, and the chairman of the board of directors of Africa 50 is the president of the African Development Bank. Then the other 30 shareholders are African countries, of which Gambia is a member. So we are going to an institution which is an international institution who are development partners, and that's why we have chosen them, because they are the infrastructure arm of African Development Bank.
Responding to a series of questions, Minister Keda and Silla stated that the agreement is neither based on mortgage nor privatization and will in no way affect the current staff of the bridge currently on the payroll of the Accountant General.
Currently, all the staff that are at the Senegambia Bridge actually are on the payroll of the government of the Gambia under the Accountant General's department. Now, if Africa 50 takes over and assuming that they want to proceed with a certain number of staff, of course, as a government, we have to look at the technical capacity of the existing staff. And if an assessment is done and they are actually fit to be employed, of course, I mean, they will be absorbed. If not, then, they are already permanent staff of the Accountant General's department, so there is no loss.
Opened in January 2019, the Senegambia Bridge serves as an economic and strategic link connecting the northern and southern parts of both the Gambia and Senegal and other ECOWAS countries. Bawasila, GRTS.
Let's move on to the Lower River region, where the National Human Rights Commission recently organized a day-long regional sensitization for technical advisory committee members. The forum, popularizing the work of the NHRC in human rights protection, seeks to enhance a public understanding of human rights and obligations of regional authorities in Mansakonko. Usman Balde reports.
Training is also expected to popularize the work of the Commission, with a particular focus on the mandate and functions of the National Human Rights Commission. Participants were exposed to basic modules on human rights promotion and protection. The training comes at a time when the Gambia is registering significant progress in the area of human rights protection. Dr. Sekou Gassama is the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission.
The whole idea is to have our regional offices in all the regions. And this is in line with the Paris Principle that inform the operations of National Human Rights Commissions. It requires human rights services, to be available to each and everyone in the country. So we are trying to fulfill that mandate. Our core mandate is to protect and promote human rights in the Gambia.
Kudos to this government for ushering in the peace and tranquility that is today defining the Gambia in terms of its democratization process. I think if we resonate with the past, today the Gambia is standing on a firm footing that we are, despite our size, despite our population, we are a force to be reckoned with in the world. That is something we are proud of, and that is something we are definitely proud of with our leadership.
Participants were engaged in a question and answer session to enhance their understanding of the information shared, as well as trigger discussions on how National Human Rights Commission can improve its work in the region. Usman Balde, GRTS News.
Now, efforts to promote sustainable socio-economic development in Talending, Kanifing municipality are gaining traction. As a native of the community launches the area's first ecotourism facility. The Riverside Cool Veranda is a vital tourist attraction in the major urban center, whose residents are using the site to support the local economy. GRTS Dado Cham visited the popular Riverside facility and filed in this report.
Is one of the top ecotourism destinations in the world, and holidaymakers enjoy a great diversity of attractions, including special facilities dotting every part of the River Gambia. Sustainable ecotourism has significantly shaped local economies supporting livelihood in grassroots communities across the country, which is endowed with a teeming biodiversity, enabling special investments in the hospitality industry. As the government galvanized efforts to promote tourism, more Gambian investors and young entrepreneurs are taking advantage of the country's natural endowments to craft ideas for sustainable tourism. They include this young entrepreneur, Lamin Damfa, who initiated this riverside boat called Veranda to promote tourism in the Talining community to uplift the local economy.
So we came about building this community center in 1.5 years ago. Now it's operating in this second year. So the idea of building this community center is to build an institution where people can come around as a platform to inform and then to educate one another. So from them times I was having these ideas of my own area, of adding this value to my own area, and promoting it ecologically, ecotouristically, and then, noticing the environment, how people have been encouraging it with the building of cement houses and the like. So building a wooden structure is like a form of introducing a new way of housing.
Outlining the importance of the location as a vital ecotourism hub for the growing township, Mr. Damfa explained the symbolism of the riverside spot as a traditional site visited by tourists and locals to discover the area's history.
As a tour agent some time ago, and then I was having these retreats where people will come, and then we will be organizing retreats. But those people who are coming, they want to spend on institutions that are owned by the natives. And in Gambia, it's hardly find or institution
that has to do with the arrest or collecting intelligence on drug-related activities. Having our drug-led, intelligence-led operations, investigations and prosecution of offenders. And within that front, the agency has done a lot to try to build the capacity of our staff as well as the capability of the agency to effectively and efficiently bridle drugs and related activities. Understanding that is one aspect of it, because you have those that are dealing and trafficking, but you also have those that are using and perhaps not dealing in it, which brings the aspect of what we call drug demand reduction, which is the unit that I head, because I'm both the public relations officer and the head of the drug demand reduction. And this has to do with prevention, treatment and care, harm reduction, alternative livelihood and alternative development programs. And we believe that the supply front, building the capacity of our institutions is very important. It's in line with UN Sustainable Development Goal. And at the same time, on this demand reduction aspect, working on how do we try to prevent drugs. On the health aspect, it's also in line with UN SDG 3,